Heartless, Forbidden, Book 1. Written by Suzana Thompson. Narrated by Paulina Schubert.
Chapter 25. Cade was still in a good mood an hour later, when our parents arrived home from their honeymoon. He even greeted my mom with enthusiasm, and smiled that disconcertingly happy smile at her. She was oblivious to the change in him, since he had always put on a pleasant demeanor for her, but his dad noticed the difference. "What are you so happy about?" Robert asked him as he studied him curiously. "Why wouldn't I be happy?" Cade replied in a good-natured manner. "We had a great time with Mom, you're back, and Lexi didn't burn down the house while you were gone." He flashed a grin at me. "You would be more likely to burn down the house," I retorted in the same lightly teasing tone he had used. "I bet you never cooked anything in your life." "You're right," he admitted to my surprise. "I've only heated up food in the microwave." "Skylar doesn't know how to cook either," I said easily before remembering that pang that she was no longer my friend. "Anyway," I continued, focusing my attention on my mom, "you've got such a great tan. Anguilla looks just as beautiful as Hawaii in those pictures you sent me." "It is," she enthused. "But I tried to avoid the sun between noon and 4, just like they advise you. But it's just so beautiful there." "No," I disagreed. "That's not what you do when you're on a beach vacation. You've got to soak up as much sun as you can." "Not if you want to avoid wrinkles and skin cancer," she retorted. "Like you could get too much sun exposure," I scoffed. "You've hardly been outside at all with how much you were working all the time." "I'm going to make sure she makes up for all those vacations she didn't take," Robert declared. "We're going on a family vacation over Christmas break." "We are?" Cade questioned. "Where?" "You and Lexi talk it over and decide," he replied. "Let us know soon so that I can get the reservations taken care of." I stared at him in wonder. Mom and I had never been able to afford a family vacation, and I had never stayed at a hotel anywhere. Her trip to Hawaii with Robert last year had been her first vacation, and it had taken a lot of reassurances from me to convince her to go. She hadn't wanted to leave me behind, but I had insisted that I would never forgive her if she missed an opportunity to go to Hawaii and bring me back a lei and a t-shirt. I got both those things, and Robert had grumbled about Mom not letting him buy me a gift too. She had silenced him with a stern look, and I had wondered why she hadn't let him buy it for me. This time, he handed me a gift shop bag while Mom was still searching her suitcase for the souvenirs she had brought back for me. I pulled out a box, and opened it in curiosity more than excitement, intrigued to see what Robert had picked out for me. The pearl necklace I found inside was so cool and different. I had never seen black pearls before, and I exclaimed over their uniqueness. Mom came over to see what I was holding and gaped at the necklace. "When did you get these?" she demanded as she glanced sharply at Robert. "You bought them in Hawaii," she said in an accusatory tone. "Okay, I did," he admitted. Mom exploded at him. "I told you I didn't want you spending that much on her." "That was before," he retorted. "But now that we're married, I can—" "You bought them before," she interrupted him in exasperation. "We agreed to only buy presents for our own children, and then you went behind my back and bought these for Lexi." "Which is why I didn't buy her anything in Anguilla," he replied. "I wanted her to have these, so I got them for her. I knew I'd eventually be able to give them to her." "Oh yeah?" she retorted. "What if I had dumped you?" "I'd spend the rest of my life trying to get you back," he told her. She rolled her eyes, but she couldn't hold back her smile. "You're impossible." He grinned at her, and I felt a bittersweet emotion while witnessing their playfulness. I wondered if this was how it had been between my parents when my dad was alive. "And I've got this for you," Robert said, and handed a brochure to Cade. "Thanks," Cade replied as he unfolded it to reveal a map. What did you get him?" Mom asked. "A souvenir map," Robert answered. "He collects them." "What else?" she prompted. "That's all he wants," Robert replied. "Wait a minute," she said, sounding flabbergasted. "You spent $6,000 on a necklace for Lexi, and you only bought Cade a map? How much did you pay for it?" Robert repeated that it was all Cade wanted, as Cade flipped the map to glance at the price. $12. Mom was aghast at Cade's answer. She took the necklace from me and held it toward Robert. You have to return this. I can't, he told her. I bought it over a year ago, so I can't return it. Anyway, she likes it. They're real Tahitian black pearls, Lexi, he informed me, like I knew anything about pearls. I was still in shock over the cost. By that alone, I could have guessed that they were real, but they were far too expensive to be given to me. Give them to Mom, I suggested. They're for you, he insisted. I'll get her one too if she wants it, but this necklace is yours. I would never try to take your dad's place, but I consider you my daughter now. I hope you'll think of me as your second dad. Your dad will always be first, but I hope I'll be able to be a close second. I glanced uncomfortably at Cade, but I trailed off awkwardly. It's okay, Cade assured me. This is really all I want, he said, indicating the map in his hand. Besides, he added with the beginning of a grin, I look better in diamonds than pearls. He looked good all the time, but this charming playfulness he was displaying now was his most attractive look. I liked him this way. If I hadn't been so charmed by the change in his demeanor, I would have stopped to consider these new feelings I was having for Cade. But he was so different that he hardly even seemed like the same person. Then we better get him some diamonds, Mom declared. Cade has hardly been deprived, Robert argued with her. I was still caught up in watching the playful expression on Cade's face, so I went with him when he offered to show me his collection of maps. He walked beside me up the steps and down the long hallway to his room, keeping his stride leisurely. You're really not upset? I asked hesitantly, although he didn't seem to be. I'm not, he assured her. I'm glad my dad likes you, because I like you too. If anyone can be the daughter my dad wants, it's you. He spoke with such heartfelt sincerity that it gave me a warm, wonderful feeling. When we entered his room, he led me into his walk-in closet. Right in the middle of it was what looked like a mini sofa with an island dresser behind it. On top of the dresser was a wooden pirate chest with a skull and crossed swords on the lid. The incongruous sight made me smile in amusement. I would never have guessed that Cade would have such a childish item hidden in his closet. Ah, so that's a treasure map. Should I call you Captain Cade? It was Courtney's, he replied. But you can call me Captain Cade if you want to, he added in a flirty tone. Shiver me timbers, lassie. You got some booty for me? Did you just call me a dog? I questioned. Lassie, I added in response to his perplexed tone. He laughed. Lassie. Lass. It means girl, he clarified. And booty means treasure, he explained in a suggestive tone. Come here, wench, he said in his pirate voice. He smiled wickedly as I took hesitant steps toward him, but he turned to face the pirate chest and open it. Inside were folded maps, and Cade placed the Anguilla map down on top of them. Somebody in the family has to actually go there and bring it back. That's the rule. Dad could have ordered her all the maps she wanted, he continued, but her rule was that one of us had to go there and have an adventure to get the map. He took one of the maps out and handed it to me. I carefully unfolded it and saw Venezia printed in larger text at the top, and the rest of the words labeling places on the map in smaller text. Italy, I said, remember him telling me that he had gone there with his mom. That's Venice, he confirmed. I try to get the ones written in the local language whenever I can. He picked up another one and exchanged it for the one I had in my hands. When I unfolded it, I saw Verona printed at the top. I noticed a curved body of water labeled Fiume Adige. What does that mean? I asked, pointing at the words. Fiume means river, he answered. That's the Adige River. You've been to so many amazing places, I marveled as I glanced at the stack of maps inside the wooden chest. A shadow of sadness dimmed his expression. Courtney wanted to sail the world. She loved the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. His dark eyes had that luminous sheen as he gazed at me, and I felt no sense of deceptiveness in it now. Why do you think Dad got you black pearls? The curse of the black pearl, I replied softly. He promised to get her a necklace like that for her 13th birthday, Cade said. I couldn't remember how old she had been when she died, but she obviously hadn't made it to her 13th birthday. Feeling the need to respond, I sadly spoke one word and trailed off. But she died when she was 10, Cade finished the sentence for me. I know he regrets not getting that necklace for her right away. It was something for her to look forward to, I said. He didn't know that... Yeah, Kate agreed. But I'm glad he got it for you. You're the only one I would let wear it. But I don't want it, I protested. I can't wear her necklace. We should put it in the chest with her maps. I carefully folded the Verona map and set it gently down on top of the other ones. I wasn't sure if I should close the lid, so I turned to glance at Kate and forgot everything else when I saw the way he was watching me. There was so much emotion in his eyes, and it was all directed at me. That's why, he said, his voice like a warm caress. That's why it's for you. He took the step that brought him into intimate contact with me, and lifted his hands to take a gentle hold of my face before kissing me tenderly. I responded to him with just as much tender feeling, and his gaze was filled with such warmth when he pulled back to look at me that I felt a surge of happiness. In that wonderful moment, I wasn't yet aware that I had started to fall for him.